Right, now you're recording.
Hey, it's Ellen here now.
Yeah, now you can say what you want.
What are we supposed to say?
Get that
I
side.
don't know what we're supposed to
Get that
say,
side.
but I
Get that
think
side.
that it's very nice to actually have a video where you can look back on time to come and say these were the things we did, and come in, darling, so that you're in the photo.
Yeah.
That's right.
Video.
Yeah.
So it's lovely that Jackie and Heron have come to see us, and we just appreciate you that you care.
At least,
Yeah.
I could have put my flash shirt on.
No, you don't have to put your flash shirt on. We don't mind you
Oh.
missing
Mate,
it.
I'm still trying to get her to film with no teeth.
Film you with no teeth.
But
I
hey-
bet
With
you
no teeth.
can't.
She wants to film me with my teeth out.
I bet you can't
No.
can't make an
No,
ugly
you don't.
face like me. You watch this.
Ew.
Oh, I don't know about that.
come
Oh,
on.
I don't know about that.
Come on, you guys.
I don't have false teeth, so I
My
can't
teeth are
quite
glued
do
in.
that.
Anyway,
And you gotta go on
I
your
can't
phone.
even go cross-eyed.
No,
you know,
Yeah.
that's
I don't
right.
wanna
Make an ugly
Oh,
face.
shit.
And I tell you what, when it comes down to family, is all that matters. You look at my son.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
His work.
Yeah.
All the things he's done.
He
Money.
does shooting.
You can't take it with
Yeah.
He does shooting, got nice rifles and
you.
everything.
You know.
Poor
Yeah.
bugger. Yeah, poor bugger.
It's
Yes.
just family is what matters. Family and friends,
Ruth-
close
Oh, yeah.
friends.
Definitely.
Ruth's husband, he's on the way.
And you don't have to
Yeah.
have 5 million friends. One good friend,
At least I'll have
or
one.
you
right?
might have 2 or 3. But
Have
But
you? Or
tonight-
you're lying to me?
No.
He's lying to me. He's
It's
won
mine,
lotto.
Wait a minute, wait a
You
minute.
better
Wait a
not
minute.
have.
Wait a minute, is my nose grown?
Yes.
Yeah, it has.
Yeah, you two buggers that say that, so you get your hands on something.
Okay, I'm just going to interrupt this. We're out at Dad and Ruth's place. We're doing a video just to have a family video that we can look back on later. And I know that sounds horrible, but he understands. You see, look, see, he understands. But this is my dad, Alan Tribe, and this is Ruth
Thackwell.
Thackwell. I didn't know
Thackwell.
that. Thackwell. This is my dad and my new stepmum. Okay, and this is my daughter Heron down here. So we brought the video camera out to have a practice. It's on a new little stand. So we're going to do this, and we're going to send it to Ruth's family as well, if they want a copy of it.
Yeah.
And if you fart while I'm sitting here, I'm going to growl at you.
Well,
Do it.
do you really want to know how I met Ruth?
Yeah, tell us. Yep,
Right.
yep, tell us.
Right. I went to live in by myself, right? And I wasn't looking for a companion at that time. And I went into this Bean
Sex
Here
shop.
Cafe. It's a cafe shop in the mall. And of course, I ordered a fish meal, right? You know, a couple of bits of Cherokee and the chips and the odds and ends that go with it, see?
That would make you
And
feel
then
so good.
I went and sat on this chair and a table, but not a word of a lie. When I sat down, the bloody table was up here. And I thought, now how the hell can I eat fish and chips up here on a plate with a table up here? That's the height of the table, see? So I thought, oh, bugger this. So when I got my meal, I went over to where the counter was, and all these people were walking past me, and there's their asses all going past me like this.
Oh, that'll be
And I
off-putting.
thought,
That's
I
off-putting.
can't sit here and eat this meal with the table down here and all these asses, big asses, small asses going past me. And a
He was-
voice-
you noticed
and
he was looking, eh?
Shut up, let me finish. you never control yourself, can you?
No.
So, I don't know, I'm sitting there, but I've got it from this plate, and a voice said to me, why don't you come and sit here?
You could come and sit here if you
Come
like.
and sit here. And I turned round, and it's Ruth. And she's sitting on the table, and the table was the right height. So we had a bit of a talk and all the rest of it, and I said to her, you know, going on, blah, 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 blah.
How old
And
are
I
you
said
now?
to her, well, do you want my phone number? And she said, yes. And I thought, okay, I'll get your phone number. So that's how you keep in touch with
Yeah,
people.
exactly.
I know what you buggers are thinking anyway, you know.
No, we're
Anyway,
not thinking like
we've got
that
to
at
tell
all.
the story, right? Now, just be quiet and I'll tell it to you, right? So Ruth gets up and she said, look, I've got to go. Look, I've got to go take this dog for a walk. And I said, yeah, okay. Okay, see you, bye. She gets up and buggers off. And I thought, oh, that was nice, talking to this lady, eh? And I come home, and I'm home here, and then the phone goes. So I picked up my cell phone and I said, hello. And she said, it's Ruth here. And I said, oh, yeah, good, how are you? Blah, 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 you know. And she said, what is your other name? And I said, Alan Tribe. And she went, oh, wasn't too sure what the other name was, see. In the meantime, she's living with her daughter, right, and all her family's there, right? And I said, what say we go and have, what say we go and have a cup of coffee somewhere?
Beer.
And she
beer.
said, yeah, not in a beer, because Ruth doesn't drink beer. Eh? So she said, yeah, that'd be nice. And I said, well, what say I come and pick you up and we'll go palmy? And this is getting on towards evening, wasn't it?
Mm.
So she said, okay, righto. So I hung the phone up and I said, you dumb bastard. What are you talking about a cup of coffee for? I'll ring her up and take her out for a meal. I got
Nah.
on the phone again, rang her up for a meal, and I said to her, I'm coming down, right? And Ruth said, yeah, okay. And I said, we're going out for a meal. And in the meantime, Ruth has opened a nice little mouth and said,
Told her family.
Ellen's coming to take me out for a meal. And it's her granddaughter says, Yahoo! Yahoo! Yahoo!
Nanny's
Nanny's
got a
boy for
boyfriend.
Nana's on a date. Yahoo! And they're jumping around like bloody 2-year-old kids. And I turned up all dressed up, and these 2 young girls looked me up and down.
Yeah. Sussing you out. Sussing you out.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
checking me out. They were so funny, eh? So we went for a meal. This bloody lady couldn't even eat a meal. She was so excited because she was going out with this fat, bald-headed guy.
80-year-old dude here, eh? You
That
know?
was so funny. And then she couldn't eat a meal, and we had a Turkish meal or something, and up in Broadway in Palms North. So I took her all the way home again, eh? And I went inside, and they took these kids. They checked me over, eh? And then, and I said, well, look, because it was getting late, eh? And it was way past your bedtime.
Oh, excuse me?
What?
Way past your
Better.
bedtime.
Oh, really?
Quiet!
Come on. You
So,
have a
she way past your bedtime. So she
Not
comes,
anymore.
so she comes to the back door, and so I scooped up my arms to give her a sloppy kiss.
That's it.
And that was it.
And that's it. And the next day, she rang me up again and she said, will we be home today? And I said, yeah. We had to put a new set of tyres on the car. She was getting here that quick. So that's the story.
So there you go. Doesn't matter what age you are at all, you can
See the
still
sign
find
over
love. What sign? Or because 2 people fell in love. Actually, I'll go and get that. I'll go get that, okay?
Sorry, guys. That's the life history.
She's gone. Bye bye.
This sign, can you read it?
No,
Upside
it's
down?
it's backwards.
Upside down?
But they've all accepted
Anyway.
me, didn't they?
Well,
all
so they
accepted me.
should
Oh,
do.
yes.
Because you're a good dude.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's a joke. That's a joke. Right?
Yeah. That was.
Did I tell you the joke about the fisherman? It's a joke. It's not a dirty joke or
No,
anything like
It's a
that.
joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. The joke is in Wellington, right?
You know what
do you wanna hear this?
No. Yeah, she knows about it.
You
eh?
know,
And that's
you
this
know what a
ranger.
joke
He's
is.
a
We should drink.
ranger for Doc, and he was in the pub this night in Wellington, and there's a whole old guy down the end of the pub there, and they had all these guys are talking about this old guy catching fish in the Wellington harbour, and they thought, oh, I'll go and check this old guy out. So the ranger goes down and says to him, excuse me, he didn't say he was a ranger, he said, excuse me, he said, I hear all these stories about you going down into Wellington harbour, and you come back with a boatload of fish. Jack said, yep, do it every so often. Anyone wants to feed a fish, I'll get them fish. And the ranger said, well, can I come out in the morning? And the old guy said, yeah. What time? 8 o'clock, right? So the ranger goes down onto the wharf, and here's a no rowboat with a sack in the bottom of it. Eh? And the guy says, we're going fishing, no rods, no sinkers, no lines, no bait, no nothing, eh? And he says, well, you come fishing? And ranger hops in the boat, goes out in the middle of the Wellington harbour, puts his hand in a sack, pulls out a plug of jelly, puts a detonator in it, lights a fuse, chucks it overboard. Boom, all the fish float up. Took all the fish, and the ranger says, God, man, you're not supposed to do that. The old boy never said a word, puts his hand in the bag again, pulls out half a stick of jelly, sticks in a little wee fuse and lights it and said, you going to fish? Or talk.
Yeah, fish or talk, eh?
Boom.
Christ's sake. Boom.
Sorry, guys. I shouldn't have told you.
Okay, that's how we do fishing in New Zealand, people.
It's one way to do it, and it works too.
Yeah, it works too. Although we haven't actually personally tried it, have we, eh?
We used to catch some fish, eh, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. Up Coromandel.
She went with went to Coromandel with me, right up to Port Charles. So my sister had a badge up there, and she was married to one of the McLean boys, and he had a boat, right? Big Alien.
I got a story for this too.
They still got the sailing boat. And Jackie comes out fishing with us, right? Because I used to get seasick a couple of times out until I got my sea legs.
Tell the truth.
Nah.
We'd
But-
get the boat on the water, and Uncle or Peter go, "This is going to be a short trip, people," and we'd all know.
Let him speak.
No, I'm going to interrupt you. And we'd all know that it'd be a short trip, so we'd all get out on the boat and we'd get everything ready, and Uncle Peter'd be watching him, and we're all watching Dad. And the next minute, my old man here is over the back of the boat. Okay, right, come back in.
Back into the wharf again.
Yeah, back into the wharf again, and that was the end of it for that day. And then the next day, he was fine.
Yeah,
But
couple
it was
of
always that first trip out where we were all us kids were
days.
cracking up.
Couple of days.
Funny, eh?
Yeah, and
It's funny that, eh?
we put the line overboard, right? You know, we're out the
Yeah.
bank, and we're about 3 mile up the coast. And then Jackie says, "Whoa! I've got something big."
Oh,
I've
yeah,
got
I
something
remember
big.
that. I
I
remember
got
that.
something big, and she's all bloody paranoid at
And-
what
and-
she's got.
And it's
And
bent
I
over.
didn't want to think it was a bloody little thing like
It
that.
was not. It
No.
was huge. The bloody line, tell the truth, the line was bent over on the water, and I'm
You're
struggling to
pulling like
hold
a-
on to it.
And she pulls up a bloody big octopus.
Great big bloody octopus. And because I kept thinking I was snagged, remember?
Yeah.
Because I kept putting the line down, and I think, oh yep, okay, and everything would go loose, and then I'd go to pull and go, oh
And of
shit.
course it used to fight.
And it
Did
used
you
to-
take him home and eat him?
No, I used it for bait.
No, we didn't use it for bait because it got right up, and what had done, the hook had got caught in one of its legs.
Yeah,
And I leant over,
that's right.
I
Yeah,
leant
yeah.
over
Had
the
bad
side of the
move.
boat and took the hook out. And as soon as I took the hook out, I got a blast of water. And the octopus just waved and went gone.
Yeah, you know, but it
Because
was.
they pump out water. See?
Yeah.
That's their propulsion. You know?
But yeah, and it wasn't until and Dad said to me, "Well, put it up," because there was obviously something on the
Oh,
line,
yeah, gee.
and it was heavy. And I remember I was a teenager.
Mm,
Well,
yes.
yeah, I was a teenager back then, so I struggled. And I pulled it up, and next minute we all went. And I think your reaction was, "Holy, if not beep beep beep." And on the water of the ocean, you could see this octopus with its tentacles floating out on it.
I
With
know
a
that
big
well.
head.
And a big head, it was huge.
Big head on this bloody thing, you know?
Okay, we're not telling a fish story, you know, the big one that got away.
No.
Okay, that was this big. This thing was absolutely huge.
But I used to go fishing, and they say, Hammond, how big was the fish? And I'd go, that big?
Yeah.
They were good days, eh?
And remember that time I brought up that John Dory?
Yeah, they're big buggers. They're nice fish too.
Oh, that was awesome. Oh,
You catch anything. You play
You
with the
know,
dolphins.
and I
play
brought up
with
this
the
big, and
dolphins.
I brought up this big John Dory. Okay, and it was that big.
Funny how you measure things, eh?
Yeah.
That's the fisherman's
I
thing.
remember-
eh?
You take a photo of something, and this is the head, and that's the tail, and that's how big it was.
Yeah, I
It's
remember.
a-
I remember Ron pulled up a fish that was the same length as the width of the boat, and it got away, but we didn't believe him when he told us because of the typical fish that got away story.
Yeah.
And then he pulled out a photo and showed us the boat.
And that was a snapper, and no shit, it was like
Yeah, one head,
Mhm.
the head of the fish
You
was on
remember
one
the
side of the boat and the
snapper that
tail
I
was on
brought
the
home?
other.
I brought
24
home
foot
and you kids
catamaran.
in the
That
carport.
was true.
yeah,
It was true.
it was huge. He had hanging up on the carport. Remember?
No, it was you and Paula in the carport.
Oh, that's right. We got a photo of it.
Yes,
There's a photo
I've got
somewhere.
it here somewhere. And I've had this big snapper.
We,
Jackie and Paula, it's the same height.
yeah, that's right. I
The
remember that.
kids were about that big, and it was from there to the floor.
Yeah, it was huge.
Yeah.
It was just huge. But we used to have. I loved going up there because we used to have fish.
Oh,
When the guys went crayfishing,
Yeah.
we'd have
Oh,
crayfishing.
crayfish, yeah.
Oh, crayfish running out of ears, and then we'd get the crabs. Remember, we used to have the bonfires on the beach.
Yeah.
We used to make a bonfire on the beach and go crabbing, or get
That's
the
what
guys used to get a net out. And we
Kids
used
love
to,
all that stuff.
and I loved it.
We caught
Yeah.
we caught whitebait up there, right? It was in the whitebait season, and Peter and I had put out a net to catch some herrings, right?
You come
For
back.
bait.
Yeah, for bait. Yeah.
And you're not supposed to do this. And when we came in, the tide had gone out, and and you get the ripples in the sand
Yeah.
because the net was there. And I looked in these ripples, and I could see all this stuff glittering around in the water. So I went up to Hilda and I said to her, "Have you got a bucket?" And she said, "Yeah," and a scoop. So when I went back out to the net and I put my hands, or never had a scoop, I used my hands and I just went round into the bucket.
And it was all white bait.
And it was all white bait.
We had white bait fritters.
And
Oh.
then when we
yeah.
went back to the beach,
No.
when I went back
Our
to the
time's
beach,
up.
Oh,
Hilda
okay.
said, "What
So
have
we
you
need
got?"
to-
And
we
I
need
said,
to
"You're
stop
not
it.
going to believe this."
Now, what we
Yeah.
need to do though is to say what the date is. Because in years to come, you'll say, what year was that when we went, you know? So what
Well,
is
it's
it now?
Wednesday.
It's March the,
It's January, February.
oh, you've got it on there,
It's
have you?
February.
Yeah.
No, it's today is Wednesday the 17th of March 2021.
That's the one.
Okay, and the time is 2:30. And we're going to stop it now because we're going to run out of time.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so ka kite anō te oa.
Right.
This is a video of our whānau.
Yeah.
Okay? So we love you guys.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely. that
Right
you-
now I want another cappuccino.
You can have another one if you want one.
Right, end it.
You're gonna get high.